You know, it's getting to a point where a man can't even take a goddamn vacation and shit not go tits up just because. I mean, there's been a lot of things that have happened since I decided to break. But Netflix keeps releasing shows they call anime when they're clearly cartoons. You got the gaming awards stuff going on. You got the crap that happened with all of the MCU and Miss Marvel. Hell, the Variety hit piece that came out on it. Boy, it's just there's just been so many things that have been happening, and not just been sitting back going, "Oh man, I guess I should really make a video about that. That'd probably be good content. Probably be good content." You got the writer strike ending. You know how much I like covering that. You got just movies flopping like crazy. That includes the Miss Marvel thing, but still, you got South Park doing what they did against Marvel, which also let a lot of people know about Kathleen Kennedy. There's just been so much, and rather than to copy the "ain't nobody got time for that" concept from the Daily Show, I would rather to dive into something that is near and dear to my heart: video games, and how the video game awards are clearly pieces of shit. Now, it's been a long-standing notion within the video game community that the video games awards are crap. They've always have been, and they always will be. No one has ever really authentically done video games justice when it comes to award shows. But then again, all award shows themselves, by default, are generally rigged and kind of fucked up. But none have been more so terrible than the video game awards. Remember when Spike TV used to do video game awards? Good lord. But as you can see, Jay off Kayleigh doing what he does is, it's okay, but it's ripe with stupidity, and much like everyone every year, the only reason that they look at it is to make fun of the fact that it happened. So why should this year be any different? Well, for one thing, this year kind of has something going on in it that nobody wants to talk about, and they're probably not gonna, out of fear for what's to come. But those who do pick up on it are speaking about it. But it's like it's not gonna change anything because the video games awards are shit. Remember, I just said that. But Hogwarts Legacy isn't in any of the nominations or runnings for the video game awards this year, which is crazy considering the fact that that was a positively reviewed game all across the board, and it made over $1 billion, which would make it accountable for something, right? Like, it should be included in something. It's one thing for it to be not game of the year when it should also have that honor as well, but it should be in some type of category, but it's not in any category. I wonder why. I wonder why Hogwarts Legacy, a controversial game because of J.K. Rowling and people who essentially were definitively angry against, I don't know what, something involving trans, being involved in this game, and then essentially, much to the dismay of gamers, gaming journalists who make up 90% of the voters and the decision makers within the gaming awards, would have some say about that game because of their, woke mindset and whatnot. So there's your problem. That's essentially what's really fucked up about this situation. Hogwarts Legacy isn't going to be included in the Game Awards because of the controversy about the whole J.K. Rowling trans thing. Now, as stupid as the J.K. Rowling trans thing is, the fact that this will not get its due respect as a video game is even more unauthentic. You already got it to where the video game awards kind of bend the knee and go ass up in order to basically please Sony for anything and everything. But to have it to be this disgusting towards a game that essentially has proven without a shadow of a doubt after its inception, it did nothing. Like it everything that everyone was afraid of didn't come to pass. All the stuff that it did was actually very well done. The game itself is bland, but so are a lot of other games. But the simple fact of the matter is that this game is a game that came out, actually did quite well, and was positively talked about for a long period of time, and for some reason is not getting its due respect in the realm or an awards show that is supposed to do just that, give respect to video games, despite what normies might think or what these dumbasses might say about video games. So to backpedal on something like that is fucked up. And to have what they're going to do with the Video Game Awards in itself is fucked up. Hell, Alan Wake 2 is in the running for Game of the Year. That game just came out. It just came out. They did the same bullshit with God of War last year, but still, this game just came out. It just came out, and then it was met with mixed reception. Half of the people blame it for being a bait and switch. The other half look at it and go, hey, it's just, that's what they do. So it's a nice little game, and in terms of a cool little visual spectacle for you to play. And that's something that some people like. But for the most part, the game has not been met with critical acclaim all across the board. Hogwarts Legacy did. Now, me personally, Hogwarts Legacy, the way how the game looked, is very bland, very by the book in terms of, having the little weapons wheel, the four little corners on the side, and then just kind of doing basic Harry Potter shit with this RPG mechanics that don't really have RPG authenticity towards it. So it's like it's telling you can role play, but you're not really able to do things outside of just the weird shit. But it's more so just, it was for Harry Potter fans. It was meant for Harry Potter fans. It was made for Harry Potter fans, and it was delivered thus. But considering how the gaming awards are, it's terrible that it's not going to get its day in the sun. Hell, I feel the same way about Baldur's Gate 3. I actually originally was going to do a Baldur's Gate 3 video, but then I found out about the Hogwarts Legacy shit, and I was like, you know what, just wrap it all together. But I'm pretty sure Baldur's Gate 3 isn't going to win Game of the Year. Why? Because they like to suck the dick of Sony at the Game Awards all the goddamn time. If it won't win Game of the Year, they'll probably justify it by making it win RPG of the Year, which it deservedly should win, as well as Game of the Year. Now, the Golden Joysticks gave it Game of the Year, and I'm pretty sure they're going to probably subsidize that. Well, it got that for that award, so we shouldn't give it for that award as well. Then let's not forget, the Gaming Awards gave Game of the Year to The Last of Us 2, one of the most controversial games within gamers that has ever existed, that definitely did not deserve such a title. Yet they gave it to him anyway. They ain't got shit to do with the fact that, again, they just happened to bend the knee and suck the dick of Sony, and that's who owns Naughty Dog, or the fact that Neil Druckmann happens to be a close personal friend of most of the people who deal with the video gaming journalists that run the video game awards. None of that matters. None of that are things that we need to look into or talk about or discuss or anything like that. No. None of that is viable in terms of an argument against what it is I'm talking about. But by all means, yeah, it definitely should win. Also, the fact that the Last of Us Part 2 was one of the poor sales that has ever happened with the Naughty Dog, as a lot of people tried to return the game because of how bad it was. And a lot of people were basically upset with just its simple game mechanic, because it's a narratively driven game and the narrative sucked, meaning that essentially the game itself sucks. But no one talks about that. Or the fact that God of War 2 just happened to come out basically during the holidays, but for some reason that means that it was included within the Game of the Year award, and then it just didn't win that because Elden Ring was fucking Elden Ring, but instead it won every other fucking award that they had, the gaming awards, except for Game of the Year, because Elden Ring was Elden Ring. Jesus Christ. I am telling you now, like, if you happen to watch the Game Awards and take it seriously, what is wrong with you? Don't do that. Stop it. That's sick. But if anything, you should understand and should know that this shit is so fucking terribly rigged. It's horrible how they get down when it comes to this stuff. It's atrocious in what it is that they do for basically an industry that they supposedly love and respect and care for. But Spider-Man 2 was basically met with mixed reviews, and it was a game that's it's a fun playable game as Spider-Man, but you barely get to play as Spider-Man when you play the game. Hell, a lot of people conclude that essentially 1 was a hell of a lot more of an enjoyable game than 2 ever was, but we're now dealing in the realm of narrative driven concepts, which is everything that Sony is pushing now. And so because of that, all of that stuff is pushed to the forefront as just fantastic and amazing games. Oh, it's so amazing. Look how much you get to ride a bike as Peter Parker. I want to be Spider-Man. Why the fuck am I, God, why am I being normal? You bastards. Why am I playing this Mary Jane when everyone said that they didn't want to do that? It's just so stupid. It's so unbelievably stupid. But you're going to basically have a bunch of people who are going to sit back and pretend that that's exactly how everything is supposed to be because that's just the way it is, as Fleekazoid likes to put it. But it shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be. Now, I'm all for, listening to when people talk about the Game Awards once it's over with, because those are always hilarious when people basically just tear it down and whatnot. But I am someone who believes that, adamantly, despite my misgivings and all that I say about, how fucked up it is and whatnot, I always believe in giving credit where credit is due. And Baldur's Gate 3 should win Game of the Year. Everything about it is just a beautiful Cinderella story. And honestly, it's worthy of winning both RPG of the Year and Game of the Year. I mean, it didn't come out from a AAA title. It basically was in development for over 6 years. It was, when it finally got released, it was exactly everything people wanted it to be. And then it just blew up to being the most positive reviewed game on Metacritic for the PC market. And, like, what game has done that in recent years? I mean, hell, when Elden Ring came out, one of the main praises about the game was that it wasn't a buggy mess. But for some reason this year, they're going to give an award to fucking Cyberpunk 2077 because it fixed its own fuck-ups. Like, do you not see how stupid the shillery is with these people? Like, Jesus Christ. Also, Twisted Metal should receive Best Adaptation, but it's not going to because no one talked about Twisted Metal because, much to the dismay of nerd culture, good things done in nerd culture are not positively talked about or pushed out there in the positive. Only the negative. They only diss on the negative. You only get nerds looking at the negative. The positive shit, they just kind of, it's like a passive fan. It was okay. It was good. It was worth a watch. But nothing to get people to be interested in it so you can keep getting content like that. They don't do that. It's sad, but that is just the way it is. So, yeah. I wholeheartedly am dissatisfied with the fact that Hogwarts Legacy is not included in this game, and then it's like, and not included in the award ceremony, and it's like, because I know the reason why, that makes it even more fucked up, but it should be. But even then, it's like, well, you don't think it should win? Well, I don't think it should win, but it still should be fucking nominated. The game made $1 billion. Like, yeah, it should still be nominated. The fuck? It's like all the different categories that they have and all the different spectrums that they got going on. It's like in Hogwarts Legacy didn't hit none of them. Again, Alan Wake 2 just came out and the game is met with mixed reviews. And it isn't even that positively talked about in terms of pushing sales. Hell, after the game came out, I stopped seeing ads for the bitch. So why the fuck is it up there with Game of the Year? The fuck sense does that make? Jesus Christ. It's horrible how it is that they take things that you love and they just ream them as hard as they can for as long as they can. And you gotta sit back and take it. Or, you do what I do. Bitch about it online. Well, that's it. This has been another episode of Flame. I've been your host, Danieltheflame. As always, good people. I hope you have fun.